In jazz and in life, this musician stood for the victory of the human spirit. With a wide face and broad shoulders, a dwarf-like build, and a hunchback, this bandleader overcame congenital tuberculosis of the spine to become one of the most sought-after drummers and bandleaders of the big band era. Perched high on a platform, he created booming solos of such complexity and energy that Buddy Rich, who studied this musician closely, and Louis Bellson were able to follow. He employed custom-made pedals, gooseneck cymbal carriers, a 28-inch bass drum, and a vast variety of other percussion instruments. Despite not being able to read music, this musician managed to memorize every arrangement with perfection. Even though his group did not gain the same level of notoriety and respect as some of his peers, it was still feared during its heyday for its band battles at Harlem's Savoy Ballroom. One particularly memorable matchup with the legendary Benny Goodman group left the latter band exhausted and vanquished. The main focus of today's video is Chick Webb. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification button to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born William Henry Webb on February 10, 1905 in Baltimore, Maryland. The year of his birth is disputed. The Encyclopedia Britannica and AllMusic indicate 1905, which appears to be corroborated by census data. Other publications claim other years. During Webb's lifetime, a December 1937 Downbeat magazine story titled "The Rise of a Crippled Genius" said that he was born in 1909. Which matches the year on his tombstone plaque. In 1939, the New York Times reported that Webb was born in 1907, which is also claimed in Hilton Schlieman's Rhythm on record. Nevertheless, Webb was the only boy of 4 children. As an infant, Webb tumbled down several stairs in his family's home, crushing multiple vertebrae and necessitating surgery, from which he never fully recovered. The injury led to tuberculosis of the spine, also known as pot disease, which left him with short stature and a severely malformed spine that caused him to seem hunchbacked. Webb's doctor gave him the idea of playing an instrument that was suggesting that it could loosen up his bones. He supported himself as a newspaper boy to save enough money to buy drums and first played professionally at age 11. He arrived to New York City when he was 17 years old and was already leading his own band in Harlem by 1926. When Webb first arrived in New York, jazz drummer Tommy Benford claims he taught him how to play drums. After relocating to New York in 1925, he led bands in numerous clubs until settling in for extended regular performances at the Savoy Ballroom beginning in 1931. He rose to prominence as a band leader and drummer in the emerging swing movement. Drummer Buddy Rich credited Webb's powerful technique and brilliant performances with substantially influencing his own drumming, even referring to him as the daddy of them all. Webb couldn't read music, so he memorized the arrangements performed by the band and led from a platform in the center. He employed bespoke pedals, gooseneck cymbal carriers, a 28-inch bass drum, and other percussion instruments. At the Savoy, Webb competed in Battle of the Bands competitions against the Benny Goodman Orchestra and the Count Basie Orchestra. Webb lost against Duke Ellington in 1937. Although a judge judged Webb's band the victor in 1938 over Count Basie's, Basie himself stated that he was happy to leave the contest without embarrassing himself. Many musicians and die-hard fans have been debating the outcome for decades. Webb married Martha Loretta Ferguson, commonly known as Sally, and in 1935 he began promoting a team, Ella Fitzgerald as a vocalist. Webb and Fitzgerald played popular songs including A Tisket, A Tasket, which Van Alexander composed at Fitzgerald's request. Contrary to popular belief, Ella was not adopted by Webb, nor did she live with him and his wife Sally, according to Stuart Nicholson in Fitzgerald biography. Webb's health began to deteriorate in November 1938, yet He continued to perform for a time, unwilling to give up touring in order to keep his band employed during the Great Depression. He ignored his own agony of fatigue, which frequently resulted in his fading out from physical exhaustion after complete sets. Finally, he underwent a big operation at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore in 1939. Unfortunately, Webb passed on June 16, 1939 from Pott's disease. According to reports, his final words were, "I'm sorry, I've got to go." Webb's death devastated the jazz swing community. Following his death, Ella Fitzgerald headed the Chick Webb Band until 1942, when she left to pursue her solo career, causing the band to disband. Art Blakey and Duke Ellington both acknowledged Webb's influence on their work. Gene Krupa credited Webb for increasing drummer awareness and laying the path for drummer-led bands such as his own. Webb's booming solos added complexity and fire, paving the way for Buddy Rich and Louie Bellson. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. Who do you think had the best jazz band?